I honestly don't care if this is gonna come across as pick me girl. I'm telling you, stop listening to these dating coaches online. Most of these women are side chicks or escorts. And if you listen to these women with fully developed frontal lobe, you're gonna just laugh at this stupidity. These women are not giving you dating or relationship advices or even teaching you how to love better and how to be a better lover. They're simply teaching you how to manipulate someone into falling in love with you. And if you have to manipulate someone into falling in love with you, that's not love. That's abuse. That's manipulation, and that's wrong.
Side chicks, escorts, some of them married, but they're just bad at it. They're not good at it. And as you can see, she's frustrated, bought too many courses, and now you're broke off of this bad advice.
Being a man today is wild because nobody told us the rules changed. They just started enforcing them retroactively. Growing up, they said, be strong, be confident, take initiative. Now they're like, whoa, not like that. Apparently masculinity is fine as long as it's quiet, apologetic, and asking permission every 3 steps, like a Roomba. You're supposed to be decisive, but only after a group discussion. You're supposed to be a leader, but never lead anyone anywhere uncomfortable. And you're supposed to be confident, but don't make anyone feel like you know something. And don't worry, fellas, you're still expected to provide. That part stayed. Emotionally available, financially stable, physically strong, mentally gentle, sexually confident, but not predatory. Assertive, but never threatening. And God help you if you're bad at any of it, because now that's a character flaw. Men used to be judged by what they did. Now we're judged by what we might do, based on a vibe, a statistic, a guy we never met. You'll hear, it's not all men. Cool. Then why does it feel like every conversation ends with us on trial? Dating is a minefield now. You don't ask women out, you submit a proposal with references. And if she says no, you gotta accept it gracefully, confidently, silently, and then disappear like a magician who just messed up a trick. If you approach wrong, you're creepy. If you don't approach, you're weak. If you're direct, you're aggressive. If you're cautious, you're boring. Somehow the safest move is just to stand there, emotionally neutral, hands visible, blinking slowly like a hostage.
So I've been seeing this trend go around on social media of literal married women and mothers going to concerts of male artists, recording those male artists, and then captioning the reel, I'm married and still shaved my legs for this just in case. I'm a mother and still wore a matching lingerie set just in case. And then if you hit the comments, all the women are agreeing with them. And I just have to say, to all those women posting that and the women commenting, your husband should leave you. That is the most disrespectful form of public humiliation to your husband. That is actually public infidelity. You are publicly lusting after someone and then admitting that you would sleep with that male artist if you got the opportunity. And I know you're gonna say, oh, it's just a joke. It's not that deep. It's not that serious. Imagine if your husband went to a Tate McRae concert and recorded her and said, oh, I shaved my balls for this just in case. You guys would not be okay with that. Could you imagine what the comments would be in that scenario? It is so common in our culture for wives to blatantly and publicly disrespect their husbands. But if the husband did that, oh, it would be a whole different story.
Men are so simple. Flop them on out. Snap a picture, press the send button, poof, whole day made. I mean, you can do a whole lot more than that, but just that one simple thing will make his whole day. All right? And do this daily. It's really not that difficult.
Let that man lead you. If you feel it in your heart that that man has genuine intentions with you and he cares about you and he wants to build a foundation with you, listen to him and stop being stubborn. Now, I'm not telling you to submit to a man that is a player and he plays with you, he lies to you. You can feel that and just dump that man. But if you met a man that you can feel it in your heart that he's serious and he cares about you, just listen to him. Sit down and listen. Like when he speaks, listen to understand, not to answer back. And don't listen to your friends that tell you stuff like a man shouldn't control you. It has nothing to do with control. And I'm telling you straight up, when a man doesn't care about you, he won't try to change you and tell you the things that are right or wrong. But when a man cares about you, he will explain to you what's right and what's wrong. Because he cares, not because he's trying to be controlling. Because he wants a future with you. And trust me, you have your own role, focus on your things, and let the man lead you. Let the man be the leader. Let him feel like a man. And you sit in your femininity.
She could have Pound Town, and if she wanted to, she would. Thank you for commenting. A woman commented, just curious, why do you perceive great, unbelievably great men, we can tell that you're being vindictive with the wording, that go the extra mile, love completely, are great fathers, great lovers, etc., have wives that just hate the idea of sex? Wives don't hate the idea of sex. What happens is she gets married, she has the kids, she gets comfortable and complacent with where she's at because she has a good man, and she just doesn't think that his needs to be met anymore. And it becomes one excuse after another, when in reality, at the beginning, when she started with the first excuse, it probably wasn't actually an excuse. Her head probably really did hurt, and she probably really did have a stomach ache, or she was bloated. And the husband, being the good man that he is in the relationship, was like, no worries, babe, it's okay, like, we don't have to do anything tonight, because he was getting it on time and he didn't see that this was going to be an ongoing issue. But the problem is, women, like, we think psychologically in the back of our heads, like, wow, that was really easy and I didn't have to do anything tonight. So, and then what happens is the excuse piles up on top of excuse, and then finally you're no longer meeting your husband's needs, but he's still meeting all of your needs. He's still the provider, he's still showing up, he's still meeting your needs emotionally, at least in the beginning. And then what happens is the woman gets amnesia, and she's like, wow, my husband hasn't really been connected to me lately. Well, no shit, because you stopped having Pound Town with him 4 or 5 months ago, and he no longer feels connected to you. Men are wired differently. Men are wired in a physical way. Women are wired in an emotional way. We like to talk our feelings. They like to feel their, they like to connect. And so when you have really good men, they'll hold on for a long time. Like, I have physically spoken to good men that have told me, like, I was a virgin when I got with her. I got married, and then, you know, she cut me off. We haven't been having sex for like many years. And there's no abuse in the relationship. He still pays 90% of the bills. He's still showing up the way that she needs him to show up. She just doesn't want to have sex anymore. And she acknowledges it and says, yeah, we should probably do it more often, but nothing changes. That's what I'm talking about. So hopefully this helps.
Do not think that you're smarter than these men. Do not think that you're smarter than these men. They have mothers. They know exactly what's going on. I done seen a woman with 3 degrees be left high and dry with 3 kids. You know what men do? Choose themselves every time. You are not smarter than a man.
The worst thing that women do is this shit right here. Because as somebody who never played games in my relationship, the moment those women cheated, I left them. And if we had a kid, it wouldn't have changed nothing. But you let them tell a story, we just walk away and put ourselves first. Yeah, at some point, y'all want to show up last and expect to be put first all times, even when you ain't shit. But they don't ever discuss that part. This is the only side of it we hear. They just leave the men. They just put themselves first. Meanwhile, they file for divorce at an 80% rate. They convince each other to ruin their relationships. Leave, sis, put your happiness first. They got a whole family, look, kids and everything. They don't give a fuck. And it's one thing if you can accept that. But this shit right here, this is what makes them the worst. This shit is pathetic. Subscribe to my YouTube, Planet Reality.
Y'all want to show up last and expect to be put first is an entire bar. It's an entire bar. Which, by the way, his name is Bars Marv. B-A-R-S Marv. M-A-R-V. Give him a follow. It's an entire bar. Because that's what these modern women are doing. I'm not sure why he's mad. His wife went up there. I don't know what the issue is. Your wife, she was gone from the moment he said, do you want to come up here? And she went.
Can you afford me? Let's have that conversation. How much you cost? So if he can afford you, does he own you or is he renting you? No, it's just that you my skincare every day, night, go on dates, eat right. I said I did travel to this date nights in the Friday after weekend thing. No. As a lady, if you have to place a bidding price on your head, you're not worth it. You see? If you have to force someone to see a value, you're not worth it. Next question, can you afford yourself? You can't. Oh, you're too expensive for yourself? Oh my jeez, that's crazy. Okay. Okay. Anyways, I'm a very peaceful person. I really don't find trouble and all that. And I'm sorry if I find this video triggering. Thank you.
You want to know why so many dads look broke? Because the system charges fathers for the privilege of being in their kid's life. Nobody talks about that. Everyone talks about child support. Everyone talks about bills, but nobody talks about the financial war good fathers get drug into just for refusing to disappear. You think raising a kid is expensive? Try fucking fighting for one. The moment the relationship ends, a dad goes from provider to prove you deserve to be in your children's life. Every paycheck starts going to lawyers, filings, mediators, evaluations, people who don't know your kid at all, but charge you like they raised them. A lawyer retainer? $2,000, if you're lucky. Modification? Another 1,000, easy. Emergency hearing? More. Evaluations? Thousands. And if you can't afford it, then they call you unstable. Meanwhile, you're working overtime, selling tools, cutting back on everything, trying to survive the process while the system drains you dry. But people still ask, why don't you fight harder? Brother, I am fighting. I'm fighting with money that I don't have for a child I refuse to lose. Here's the truth. Some dads aren't broke because they're irresponsible. They're broke because they chose to stay. Some dads aren't absent because they don't care. They're absent because the system priced them out. But if that's you, if you're scraping by, doing math every night, trying to afford the next court date, and keep the lights on, you're not fucking weak. You're not failing. You're a father paying a price most people will never understand. And one day your kids will know exactly who went broke trying to keep them close. So keep going. A present father isn't priceless, even when your bank account says otherwise.
I guess I missed this part in my personal training certification. Make sure to show people how to pull up their leggings before working out. So that was my video that went viral. And there were hundreds of comments saying, but it's normal to pull up your leggings, and this is a normal habit. Now, I won't argue with you that it's a normal habit to pull up your leggings, but it's not normal to film yourself doing that and then post it online. This is not just a habit that just so happened to be caught on camera. It is done so intentionally. It's the lengths these trainers go through of setting up their camera and tripod, pressing record, then making sure they're all centered in frame, turning around, then picking up their leggings, essentially giving themselves a wedgie or purposefully jiggling their glutes to flex or show off their body. And it doesn't stop there. After they're done filming and working out at the gym, they go to edit their educational and inspirational workout video. They purposely clip this moment of pulling up their leggings, sometimes even zoom in and put it at the beginning of their video as a hook to get you to watch. Sometimes it takes a whole 5 seconds of pulling up leggings before we even get to see a single part of the workout. What we don't see is them picking up their dumbbells, getting into position, or all of their reps. You know, the unnecessary stuff. Don't make excuses for these girls. These are professional content creators. If they know how to delete a clip of the other unnecessary stuff, they know how to delete a clip of them pulling up their leggings. This is intentionally filmed and edited. At the end of the day, this is inappropriate. Instagram trainers, be honest. You're either doing this to tap into your followers' insecurities, or you're doing it for your own likes to get your comment section full of heart eye emojis, fire emojis, and hashtag body goals. It doesn't add value to anyone but you.
You guys want to see an example of a woman that is defining a specific dating strategy that is so toxic? Here she is.
Sometimes you have to keep forgiving him while looking for someone to replace him. It's called constructive elimination by substitution. Don't let a boyfriend stop you from finding your husband.
Yeah, I think there's already actually a term for this, and it's called monkey branching. It is a strategy that has been used for a long time by a specific type of woman. A woman that really cares more about just moving up in the socioeconomic world through men. She doesn't want to do it herself. She wants to utilize men. So she goes from one man to the next as soon as she finds a man that she deems better. And usually that has to do with him like making a lot more money or having a higher social status. Men are not surprised by this. They see this happen day in and day out. So for you to make a definition that sounds a little bit more appealing to other women and then broadcasting it as if this is something that's totally okay to do, that's a little messed up.
Women go to gyms in small clothes, and then they're filming themselves for social media attention. Now, the men physically standing there are also giving them attention, but they are upset about this attention because they can tell it's being given to them. And it may not be from the type of man that they consider high enough status, whereby they will be okay with men giving them anonymous attention on Instagram as a result of that same content that they have filmed at the gym.
I mean, it's all about the fantasy, man. It's all about the fantasy. You know, it just depends on what it looks like. I can't see. I can only fantasize about the type of men that are looking at me. In the gym, oh, he's ugly. I don't want him looking at me. So it kind of ruins the fantasy of I have all of these adoring fans and I can only, and that's really honestly and truly for a lot of these modern women, that's kind of the gut punch is, oh shoot, the men that I thought were actually looking at me that I wanted, they're actually looking right past me.
Here she comes. You proud of your mom?
Shit, I'm a woman and I'm proud of his mama too. Good God dang. There's some big old tig old bitty.
Yes,
Mommy.
Yes, baby.
What is
Onion.
Carrot?
Yes, I cut it.
Well.
An onion is their lunch? What is that? Is that an apple? What is that? So your kitchen is too nice. Your kitchen is too nice. That cutting board? No. I know you want some sympathy, but you're not going to get it from me. Y'all be putting on for the gram. You got enough money. Them kids probably got Oreos and Capri Sun in that pantry over there.
Hey ladies, I don't know how to break this to you. It's uncomfortable. But the reason I believe that our relationships are not working right now is not to do with the fact that men aren't emotionally available, they're toxic, they're narcissist, all this stuff. It's because of therapy culture and the over-feminization of society. And what I mean by this is currently in romantic relationships, we are dictators and men are being dictated to. Because if their needs are perceived as disgusting or abusive, then and ours are being perceived as empowering. You know, I share a boundary, I express a need, I am being empowered. But if he says, I need something, or what you said seems irrational, he's abusive or he's disgusting. And that is why our relationships are not working and why we are chronically dissatisfied, because we are trying to make men behave as women in relationships, and they aren't. They are different. They have different needs, they have different ways of relating, they have different ways of dealing with things, and we got to stop. If you want to have a long-term satisfying relationship, you can have it, but you have to let go of the ideology. And at this point, it's brainwashing. We're part of a cult, okay? And you can get the love that you want, but you have to start taking accountability for your own behavior, your own insecurities, your own level of need from your partner. And I'm going to talk a lot more about it. And by the way, you don't have to be in a relationship. If you don't want to be in one, don't be here. I'm not saying you have to, but I'm saying if you want it to work, then you have to let go of some of the ideology. Okay? Stay tuned if you want to find out more.
I mean, honestly, asking me to come over at 10 p.m. is crazy. Where are your morals? Where are your values? What is your address? Where can I park? I'm curious. Just let me know.
I am treading dangerous waters by saying this, but I think that a lot of you women's obsession with trying to find the smallest thing to call a man gay over is because y'all have a indirect kink for gay men. I think a lot of y'all have a lot of infatuation with gay males, and I think it's starting to bleed over into y'all interactions with just men in general.
I didn't say it. She did. Not me, but she. I might have been thinking it, but she said it. Because I'm sure at some point we all thought to ourselves and said, wait a minute, what is their infatuation with calling regular men doing regular things gay? And if you ever had that thought, I'm sure at some point this thought has crossed your mind. And I'm here to tell you, you are in fact on the money about your thought process. Yep, those women in fact are into gay men, but they just can't come out and say it. But I come here not as a spokesman, but as a middle point, as a middleman between her thoughts and your phones. But one thing's for sure, two things for certain. If there is ever any inconvenience with another man, and the first thing out of their mouth is that he's gay, trust me, you might want to look into that. Yeah, I'll keep the change.
All right, we need to talk about integrity and loyalty and discernment. I was recently just on a podcast with Sarah Stock before everything came out this week, and then the truth revealed itself this week that she made her fiance, now husband, wait until marriage while she was sleeping with her boss the entire time. This woman also had a brand online of being a Catholic woman who was pure and virgin and told everyone to wait until marriage. I'm not trying to kick someone while they're down, but this is a very, very public affair, and we need to talk about what's happening in the conservative Christian influencer space. There is a reason that I've said no to every single conservative influencer event/retreat that I've been invited to. And that's because when I asked if my husband could accompany me to these events and retreats, I was met with a no. And no, I will not be attending events and retreats where people are drinking and partying without my husband present. I don't even travel without my husband. I don't even do podcasts without my husband on set. He's always there behind the camera. And the reason is because I don't even want to put myself in situations where my integrity and loyalty could even be questioned. I don't want to put myself in situations where people could think I'm available. Because infidelity and betrayal to that scale, when you are a public figure and your entire brand is on purity and waiting until marriage, it destroys you and destroys your marriage for the gain of nothing. So let this be a reminder to you to protect your relationship and marriage with everything you have. There is nothing in this world that is worth destroying that relationship. And this applies for both men and women. If you need to block certain sites on your phone, if you need to not be around certain people, if you need to not go out with a certain group of women, if you need to not go to events without your husband or wife present, then don't do it. Don't even put yourself in those situations where people could see you as available, or if you're a public figure, where people could even question your loyalty. And look, I am not a perfect human being. None of us are. We make mistakes every single day. But you need to be very, very careful. When you are married, the devil comes after you much harder than when you're single. And you need to do everything that you can possibly do to protect your relationship and marriage and protect yourself. Because if you have values such as purity, such as integrity, loyalty, being married to one person, then you better make sure that you do everything in your power to stick to those values and to hold them true.
Well, these folks know you're not available. They know that, right? And I think on some of these things, they don't want to have to pay for, because I'm assuming if they're inviting you to come, they're going to be paying, right? For somebody like you. Let me see. Yeah. For somebody with, what was it? Yeah. 405. Somebody pretty. They're going to pay for your stuff, right? most, if not all of it. They're going to pay for it. You're probably going to be seen. They're going to use you for marketing. And so they probably, and I don't know why, if you're going to make them that money, if you have 405,000 followers, and this is just on Instagram, I'm sure you have probably that same on TikTok. I don't know why they don't just, okay, we'll pay for both of them, right? We just do it for both of them. But I think they want to spend as less as possible. It's like, oh, we don't want this, and they want a certain thing going on. But you're right to say, no, this is how I'm going to move. I'm bringing my man with me. You know what I mean? If I can't bring my man with me, I'm not coming. And I'm not saying all these people are doing this, because I'm sure there are some who's like, yeah, why not? Fantastic. Right? But yeah, I applaud you for standing up and kind of saying that. Once again, I feel like Savannah, I've seen her do some stuff that I don't necessarily agree with. But, on the whole, this is a very good message.
Men overcomplicate talking to women when it's actually so simple. All you have to do is first approach them, but not like that. Then you start off a basic conversation, just not like that. Give her a compliment, no, not like that, and ask her about her interests. No, not like that though. From there, go ahead and ask if she wants to go out sometime, but not like that. Find a nice place to take her. No, not that one. Make sure you keep asking her getting to know you questions. No, not those ones. End the night in a cute but non-aggressive way. No, definitely not like that. By that point, you'll totally have it in the bag. Or you won't, and she'll leave you on red and ghost you. See? It's that easy.
And I guess the joke's on me, because when I started to listen to it, I was like, I thought I'm so used to her, giving, nuggets of information that you can actually use. Yeah, you can actually, yeah, okay. And she about to say something important.
I just got a question I just want to ask, and I don't want to fight for real. I just want it to make sense. Okay? If we want men like our fathers, who paid bills and built houses and changed tires and fought off the danger, then why don't we also want men like our fathers that told us that that dress was too little and go take it off because you're not going outside like that? Why do we not also want fathers that told us to lower our tone? No, you can't hang with her. She's not a good influence. Women don't carry themselves like that. No, you can't do that. Y'all see how crazy that sounds? You want the benefits of a man treating you like his precious daughter. Y'all even be calling y'all's men daddies. And I have never understood that, because yuck. I know who my daddy is. I don't even want to think about my man and my daddy in any kind of commingling way. But nonetheless, y'all call y'all's men daddy because he provides. He gives me what I want. He takes me where I want to go. But then you get upset when he tells you that he don't want you hanging with old gal because old gal is loose in the streets, or she cheating on her man. And I don't want my wife, my woman, hanging around a woman like that. He can't tell me who to hang with. Baby, I don't think that dress is something you need to wear today. It's my body. I can wear what I want to wear. All the while, you still want that man to do everything like your daddy, but he can't have no say-so like your daddy. But then y'all also don't want to go 50-50 so y'all can be partners. Make it make sense.
Y'all know it says he who finds a wife finds a good thing, not just any woman, for a reason. And it's because being born a female does not automatically make you a wife. A wife provides help. She supports her man. She adds to her man.
I feel like body count don't matter. Okay. And if it does matter, you insecure. Because why you want to know why you want to know that? Why do you want to know that? And why does that matter to the now? Like, I can understand you don't want it to be too high, I guess, but that's out of your control. Okay. It shouldn't matter. It's about the...
I'm going to say, if you got two cars in front of you, you got two Hellcats, both of them the exact same goddamn car, same year, same color, same model, everything. But you ask for the Carfax on both of them, and you see one been in way more wrecks and shit, damn near been totaled, and the other one just had a fender bender. Both of them refurbished now. Okay. Which one would you feel more comfortable spending your hard-earned money on?
Of course, the one that ain't been in all them ribs.
Okay. So if I do that about my car just because I don't want to waste my money, don't you think it's justified in me doing even more about the woman I plan on spending my life with? If I'm doing all this about a car, I'm asking for Carfax and all this shit about some material shit that's gonna give out on me in 5-6 years anyway. Don't you think I should do even more questioning and Carfax about my woman?
You're an average woman and you want to know how you get a high status man? Okay, I'll teach you in just 5 steps. Step 1, you can't. Sorry, but you can't. So there's no need to go over all the other steps, but hold on, let me tell you why. A high status man, he has options and real options. He's not choosing based on your standards. He's choosing based on your value. So when you say stuff like, I need a man making over $500,000 a year, or I have high standards, or I'm just thinking about my future, you have some questions to answer yourself. Are you fit, or are you working on it? Are you young, or are you trying to compete with a 20-something-year-old using Botox and filler? Are you feminine and submissive, or are you loud, combative, and allergic to being led? Do you like to cook, or do you hate it? Do you bring peace, or do you bring problems, mood swings, and test to see if he really loves you? Because men at that level, they invest in beauty, peace, and a woman who makes life feel lighter and easier. And if you bring kids from another man into the equation, your chances are even smaller, honey. I'm sorry. So what the hell happened? Average women used to go for average men, solid men, hardworking men, and loyal men with character. Now, a lot of average women want the top dog while refusing to become a top woman themselves. That is not high standards. That is high entitlement. That is why you're still single. That is why you're getting older. And that is why you keep asking, where are all the men? Where did they go? Honey, they're everywhere. Take a look around. They're on construction sites doing electrical work, and they're working the double shifts. And guess what? Those men, they would treat you like a damn queen, but you are stuck in fantasy land. You think you have the same chance as a sweet, feminine 20-something-year-old who looks like a model? I'm sorry, but no, give me a break. Your prince might not be dressed in Italian designer suits every day. He might be in work boots, covered in dust, looking for a woman who's actually worth committing to, but you're too blind to see him.
What is your competitive advantage? How are you going to catch that man's attention? If you're throwing yourself at him with the same type of makeup sort of stuff, then how are you ever going to stand out? You know what I mean? Like, if you're not genuine, why would he pick you? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to turn tricks. Like, you can go over there and introduce yourself. Hey, how's it going? For sure. Do that. But a lot of times, a lot of these young ladies, especially if it's a high value man, they might throw their body at the man, or they might try to throw their accolades at the man. And you're just saying, listen, that's not what it's all about. I need to know that you're loyal to me and that you're going to help me. And a lot of modern women don't understand that.
A man with money is expected to share, but a woman with money is told she doesn't need a man. Same income, totally different rules. Let me explain before you get mad. In our culture, men are taught from day one that if they're not earning, they're failing. If they can't provide, they're not real men. If they don't pick up the check, they're broke or stingy. A man's value is often reduced to his financial output. Now flip the script. When women become successful, we don't expect them to carry anybody. In fact, we celebrate it as a form of freedom. Yes, queen, you're independent. She doesn't need a man. He's expected to provide, but she's expected to escape. Because if we really want partnership, then we need to stop placing all the financial burden on one side, while celebrating freedom on the other.
If you praise a woman for aborting her child because she did what's best for her, then you should also praise a man for leaving his children because he did what's best for him.
This genuinely makes me so sad. How can you do that to your man? How can you do that to the person you love the most in the world? Make him go shave his beard outside in the snow? How could you do that? Just clean it again. Just Let him do his thing and clean it again. It's only gonna take you like 5 minutes or even less. Part of a relationship. If you want to be in a relationship with a man, you need to learn to take care of him.
So I know society tells us, women, that we don't need a man, but good golly, like right now, one would be really handy. So I'm very glad that I do have one in my life to help with these kind of jobs. Oh my goodness. Maybe if I try with my foot up, that will help. Brendan's done all of these. This is my first one. And it's really hard. Got it. Got it. That hurts. To the younger generation of women out there, don't believe the lies that society tells you about masculinity being toxic. It's not. It's a beautiful thing to have a man in your life, to do those strong things that sometimes us women just cannot do. I did one of those springs on the trampoline. Brendan did the other 60 something, and then he went off to the gym. I love that we are created differently and we complement each other, and I absolutely love having a man in my life. So don't believe what society is trying to tell you otherwise.
I'm 22 and I'm getting married in a couple months, and so many people are saying I'm getting married too young and that I should spend the best years of my life partying and having fun and all of that stuff. Perhaps I would like to spend the best years of my life with the love of my life. And I would like to live a faithful life rather than hop around college bars every weekend and sleep with every guy I see. Marriage is only the beginning of my adventure, certainly not the end. And maybe I got lucky because a lot of people say you should wait until you have life figured out before you get married, but for me, when I met my fiance, life started to work out. Regardless, when you know, and you can figure out the rest later, together.
I'm gonna be real honest about this one, and I don't think you guys are gonna like it. But if men actually knew who were the ones that are abusing and murdering and torturing kids the most when it comes down to, household situations, they would consider male babysitters and, male nannies at this point. And it was funny because I just saw homegirl Chloe. She posted a video regarding this. And finding out about that, I'm like, I'm so glad I'm home with my kids and that no one else is watching my kids, because I couldn't do it. And let's not forget, a lot of the news reports that I did see regarding babysitting and, daycares of what's been going on to children, women were the ones. They were the caregivers. They were the ones that are supposed to be the nurturing, sweet, caregiving ladies like they're supposed to be. But instead, they just been on some wackadoo shit, freaking locking kids up in the closet, torturing them, beating the hell out of them, and also murdering them. And then it's the worst part is that it doesn't get it's not talked about enough on the news. They don't really do that. They don't really talk about it enough on the news. And then we also want to make the excuses of it being postpartum depression or the baby blues or because of my mental and I didn't take my Lexapro. So yeah, if after finding out about all that, I would rather be a man. I would rather it be a man, because at least I know he's more inclined to protect this child. At least if any crazy shit goes down, at least I know my kid will be safe. Do people not know that there's actual stats about this? There's actual stats. Stop making men out to be like monsters or some shit. They're not oh my gosh. Do y'all ever come to terms and realize that there's only a very small percentage of men that are disgusting and, that would commit heinous things? A very small percentage of them. But yeah, you guys are making it seem like it's just a majority of things. That's just in their biology or some weird shit. Y'all really need some help. Because women are not exactly the nurturing and caring people you think. They always constantly, if they're not infantilizing women, they're always making them seem like that they're just perfect little sweet baby angels when they are completely capable of doing some fucked up shit too.
They say stuff like this. They say stuff like this. And they sit up there and they pose like that. They pose like that because they genuinely don't think that men find them insufferable. They really think that men like this type.
You guys, I asked my grandfather today, what does it look like when a wife submits to a husband? And he says when she renounces her ego. Do you guys know how deep that is? When she renounces her ego. And this generation is literally teaching us to feed our egos. It's teaching society, the women today, to be women in male fields. But when you learn to renounce your ego, you can let go of your pride. You know that you can be 100% right in a situation, but yelling in his face is not going to do anything because you know that prayer works. Renouncing your ego, allowing him to lead even when he's still figuring things out, but still trusting the fact that God is going to speak to him. Renouncing your ego, allowing him to be wrong, right? Be wrong and then come back later and say, hey, I was wrong. But you're not rubbing it in his face that he's wrong and that he never listens to you. But you realizing that, allowing him to sit in the moment. You begin to learn that he does better when you tell him what he's doing right instead of what he's doing wrong. You learn that even suggesting to him is more impactful than demanding him. So when he said that, it radicalized my mind. It changed my perspective on many things, and it made me want to become more Christ-like as a woman. It did. And it made me realize that, man, when God sends my husband, yo, that man gonna be blessed. All this wisdom that I'm getting, yo, that man gonna be blessed, yeah.
And that's kind of the thing that men continue to say to these modern women. Hey, I can help you if you want. I don't need no help. Get out of my face. And, you know, a man kind of just moves out of the way because he don't want the issue. And when you have an issue, now you're turning, where you at? Where you at when I need you? Why you move from that spot? Well, you told me that you didn't need me. So will you just sit around and wait until I need you? No, you ain't nobody. You're not my boss. You're not nobody important. Why would I sit around waiting on you? I have stuff that I want to do in my life. And women get mad at that. But that's essentially what's happening. You say you don't need a man goes off and says, okay. I mean, God dog, if you went to a restaurant and a waiter or a server was coming around and filling your water every 5 minutes, and you come back and see, I don't need my water full. I'm okay, thank you. And he see, okay, looks like her water's still full. She's not touching her water. I might try to come back every so often and say, hey, is everything okay? But I'm going to let you eat your meal until maybe there's like a certain time has passed. Then I'll say, hey, is everybody doing good? Are you ready for the check? Are you ready for dessert? And check in then. No, we ain't going to have any dessert. Just bring the check. I bring the check and that's it. Until when you sign out and you leave, thank you for having a great, thank you for coming. Have a great day. That's it. That's how y'all are treating men. A man might come around to you every so often and say, hey, are you interested in dating? No, thank you. And he goes away. You want that man to be right there at the table. Or just like what you actually want is you want a man within earshot. And a man is saying, well, I got other things to do. I got other tables to serve. Meaning I got my job. I got my family. I got my friends to take care of. I got hobbies that I want to go take care of. So I'm not going to be sitting right there when you need me. Just tell me if you need me or you think you're going to need me, and I can portion out some time for you. That's it. But if, you grown, I'm going to let you go ahead and have your time, and I'm not going to hover over you. Modern women, they get mad at that. They want you right in their face, or not right in their face, but they want you around so they can just come here at my beck and call. Well, I'm here to help you out, but I'm not here like to, just wait on you hand and foot. I got other business I need to take care of.
That's my problem. I see the most beautiful woman on earth and walk straight past her without saying a word. And it's not that I'm afraid of rejection. It's just over the years, women have made it very clear that they want to be left alone. See, I'm cool with being told no. It's just when they make me out to be a creep, that's what I have a problem with. And before anyone says, you probably approach in a creepy way. No, I approach in a very respectable manner. And it's definitely been a few times where I'll walk up to a chick and say, hey, how you doing? And then make it out to seem like they being harassed. There's been too many cases where dudes that went to jail over false accusations. I don't even feel like dealing with the hassle.
Here's exactly how women were lied to practically their entire life, and here's exactly how women blow through all of their options that they had in their 20s and their 30s only to find themselves completely single. What women were taught their entire life is that if he wanted to, he would. So what they were taught is that a man is supposed to do all the pursuing, a man is supposed to basically do all the pursuing and do all the chasing and do all of this to try to set dates and try to make plans, and if he doesn't love you. But here's what happens. As she pulls back and as she never shows any interest, what typically happens all through her 20s and all through her 30s is that the man now pursues more. So he sends more text messages and he sends more phone calls and he tries to plan more dates. And she thinks logically in her mind that this is what she wants because this is how it's supposed to go, because this is what all of the movies told her to believe, and this is what all of the whatever gossip that all of her friends had, is that if he wanted to, he would, and he's supposed to put in more work, and girl, you got to make him work for it, only to see, or only to find out, or only to start to realize that by her doing that, and now him over pursuing, this leads to the road of emasculation. And now she has no desire for him. The exact things that she thinks she wants or that she was told to want is the exact things that turns her off. And this right here is how she blows every single relationship in all of her 20s and almost all of her 30s because nobody ever told her that this is wrong. Her dad never told her that this is not the right way to do it. Her mom never told her. And here's the other funniest thing about this. Women are all in competition with each other because they all want the exact same men. So the advice that they give each other is only advice to ruin the other woman's opportunity of actually achieving a relationship with an amazing man. Women do not want to see each other succeed. However, the funniest thing about this is because they don't realize that they all have this exact same mindset. So they all actually believe that deep down she has her best interest in her favor. They don't even realize that their friends are slowly sabotaging their relationships over and over and over. Not to mention, what you're going to find is that women only listen to other women. Women only take advice from other women. So what you're going to notice is that you as a man, you are going to really have to notice this one thing. The more you chase and the more you pursue and the more you do what women claim they want when it comes to the communication, this will just totally backfire and you will be single over and over and over. Check out what I made for you. It's in my bio. It's in my description. I'm going to help you learn, understand, and master the language of women.
What'd you make, baby?
Do you want to know what I made? I made you steak Sammy's, and I made this serrano pepper spread to spice up your life. It's super hot, but there's only a little bit. And then I sauteed onions for you. They're under the steak though. And then I made you a skirt steak because that's your favorite. And I made the bread today.
Looks fantastic. Looks fantastic. I mean, look, the sliders, man. The quality of the bread, man, it's just, and I'm not mad at that. Fantastic job.
The wife sends her husband spicy texts in the morning and then is too tired by bedtime. Check this out.
I sent my husband spicy pics yesterday and somehow ended the night bone dry and overstimulated. And actually, after I hit send on those spicy pics, real life showed up as it always does. And while he was at a quiet work event all afternoon and evening, I was living 8 different lives at one time. The kids came home from school and needed snacks.
Okay, so depending on what age your kids are, they can get their own snacks. What you can do is you can set them right there on that table. I'm telling you. I'm talking about 2 toddlers. I think one might have been 2 and 1. I think they were old enough to walk. They were old enough to walk. They were old enough to walk. And them little gremlins were smart as a whip. So I would just, when I would come in from work, because I used to work the night shift, and my brother had to go to work, so I would keep the kids, and I was tired. I was tired. So I would go in there and I would lay down. but they would watch TV. Whatever we put on there, it might be abcmouse.com. I just need to get an hour of sleep so I'm still tired, so I can get up and do more things, right? Eventually he gonna come in and get the babies, or somebody else is gonna come in and help. I get it. But, just to kind of get there. But I'll put the milk out for you, and I'll put the cereal out for you. So you get hungry, you can just pour some cereal. And sometimes I pour the cereal for you. Sometimes he would pour the cereal for himself and my little niece. So if they're old enough, you set those snacks out, whatever you want to know. Here's an apple, here's a banana. If you want something a little bit more substantial, here's an Uncrustable or PB&J or something, whatever it is. You can pre-prep this type of stuff, but go ahead. I get what you're saying.
A collab landed in my inbox from one of my favorite groups with a 4-day turnaround. I had to cook dinner solo. I had to tidy the house before the cleaners came.
Why are you tidying the house before the cleaners are coming? If the cleaners are coming, they're going to clean the house. That's what their job is, right? Now, you have to cook dinner solo once again. So let's say they get home at 4. Dinner's got to be on the table by 6:30. Okay. If your job and your thing is that hectic, it all comes down to planning. You remember women plan, right? So at that point in time, you would have something thawed out and ready to go. You'd have something in a slow cooker, chicken and rice. You got steamable vegetables. You can throw some corn in there. And there's a corn. You want to get some carrots from the store that are already cut up and pre-washed. You can run them under the water again. You got carrots, you got corn, you got chicken, you got rice. So really the only thing that you're preparing is the rice, right? That's the only thing that you're cooking. You can put that in a crock pot, or maybe not crock pot. You can cook that in, you can cook it on a stove, a pressure cooker, a rice cooker, whatever you want. So there's multiple different options. What are you cooking? The kid's probably not going to eat steak. So it's probably going to be chicken or some sort of simple meal with these babies. And obviously you don't have to feed them junk. You don't want to do that. But I understand you don't want stuff everywhere. I mean, you got cleats, you got shoes and stuff. I at least want to pick up a little bit before the cleaners come. I don't want my house being dirty. People judge me for my house. I understand that. On the, let's say, the 4-day turnaround with the brand opportunity, because you have a family, and this is where a lot of modern women go wrong. You have an opportunity, yes, but they also have to understand the family takes priority. What you did is you put that opportunity, which is a good opportunity, in front of those babies. They could have kicked it back out for another couple of days. Can I have a week? Oh, well, we need this, and this. Well, come to me before that, right? People know how to plan. They know how to budget. They know how to forecast. I understand what you're saying, but the family comes first before that. So you spent all your mental energy right there. If I had to say anything, that's your mistake. Get your money. But this is the point. This is the problem with a lot of these modern women. They put this type of stuff. All that other stuff, I can give you a pass on. But this type of stuff comes before family.
I fed the dogs. There were 3 boys playing for hours inside my house. We had a soccer practice. There was bedtime battles. And of course, the elf duties that even though my husband ended up doing, we still brainstormed on.
I don't know how hard it is to feed a dog. I personally have a feeder. You probably feeding them some high quality stuff. So maybe that's ignorance for me. But a lot of this stuff that you have going on, this can be automated. And has been for years. And you see how modern women do? They start to stack up the things that are actually very simple to do. And number one, number two, it takes like 2 seconds to feed the dogs. Even if you wanted to make it really, really hard, it takes like 2 minutes to feed the dogs. 2 minutes. And you're saying you're drained after 2 minutes? Well, I had to go to work. Let's say I worked a 12-hour day. And now I got the kids in my house. All right, so I'm tired of that. And then I got to cook dinner. I got to make the snacks, right? Your kids, they're grown enough to get their own snacks, to be honest with you. So you could have set, that's what I'm saying. You could have set all this on the counter, and they come in, they grab whatever snack they want, and hubby can come in at the end of the night and just replenish it, refill it. No problem. A lot of this stuff that you're talking about is not a big deal. But this is the problem. Y'all keep on saying, oh man, it was so much. It was this. Just say that you don't want to fulfill your duties and let's go on about it. Because I can guarantee you, if that car was out there broken, his behind would need to be out there fixing that car. I got to go to work in the morning. So tired or not, I got to go to work. Period. End of story. I'm telling you, man, we be dead sleep in the middle of the night. Somebody call my dad. I'm talking about 10 o'clock at night. Somebody call my dad. Hey, man, we got this deal for you at 10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock? 10 p.m.? I got to get up and take my kids to school tomorrow, man. Well, man, we got this deal for you. So all the way on the other side of town. Go get that. Come on back, get into bed. All right. Y'all do what y'all want to do. Y'all complain about whatever you want to do.
And by the time I finally got our oldest to bed around 10, I was done. I joined him on the couch after, and he looked over at me and asked, you want to slip back into that little number? And I laughed and I said, no. Women get judged for saying not tonight, while the world ignores the reason that we're touched out, burnt out, desireless, or simply done. Women don't simply lose desire. We don't hate sex. That desire just gets buried under the weight of everything no one else sees.
So much of what she says in this is so true, and it resonates with a lot of women. My concern is what some women may do with this message, using it as a war cry that they should never have to be into intimacy or choosing that on a day when they're touched out. Because here's the problem. In the day and age we live in, when is there a day that we're not touched out? Like, as busy moms, there's almost always going to be a reason in our minds to be like, oh, I'm too tired. I don't feel good. My day was stressful, whatever. So rather than allowing your level of exhaustion to be the barometer for whether or not you want to be intimate with your husband, what if we made it about prioritizing him and prioritizing the relationship? Because she said something about, well, women don't just lose desire, it just gets buried under the mountain of other things happening. Yeah, and that mountain is almost always there. So rather than leaving it there, how about we pull it out and put it at the top? How about we make our husbands the top priority, because they should be our top priority. And sometimes that means that I might not be into it, but I'm choosing it because I'm choosing him. I'm choosing that intimacy because I want my husband to feel loved and I want my relationship to remain strong. So just really check your hearts, ladies. Are you allowing intimacy to get pushed down the road over and over again, leaving your husband feeling unwanted and rejected? And maybe she's not. Maybe the very next day she was like, boom, yesterday didn't work out, but I'm going to make sure I prioritize it in a short period of time. Maybe. But how many of you guys would take this as your war cry, as a wall that you get to have up saying, see, I shouldn't have to when I'm tired? At what point does your husband feel used? Feel like somebody that's there to provide, but not to be loved? So I look at intimacy not as something I have to do, something I get to do. Even when I'm a little tired or it's been a long day, I get to make my husband the king of this house that feels loved and chosen, even when it's maybe been a longer day for me, which often makes him feel even more loved because he knows that it's not about me wanting it in that moment. It's about me wanting him to feel loved above all else.
That's really the answer. That's really the answer. All of this other stuff is coming before him. All of these other things, which some of them are valid, is coming before him. And you sit up here and whine and cry and moan. You putting this stuff before him. And now, once again, when Valentine's Day come around, oh, it's going to get real quiet. It's going to be a lot of complaining that shut down because I want that gift that he got me. I want to go to that expensive restaurant. I've been waiting for this all year. Oh, I want them rose petals. I've been waiting. I didn't cleared out my memory on my camera. I'm waiting to take pictures of this. Oh man, the girls, they gonna know that I got an expensive bag after Christmas just came. Christmas, I just got that expensive bag. I'm gonna get another one. We're gonna go to this hotel. We're gonna do da. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get that. It get real quiet. And if he don't get you all of that, or even come to that level of expectation, then all of a sudden you're gonna be on Instagram and TikTok talking about how he didn't meet your expectations. That's what y'all continue to push down whatever he needs and raise up whatever you need. And that's selfish. And that's it. When I listen to you talk, you sound immature. You sound immature. You sound like somebody that is not sold out. You sound like somebody that ain't got it. You just don't have it. You don't know how to prioritize. Like I said, I get it. I understand it. A lot of what you were saying is valid. But some of that stuff can be put on automatic. Some of that stuff can be pushed. Some of that stuff can be rearranged. Period. End of story.